Hi, guys, and good afternoon, creeps. Okay, today I want to talk about a very serious subject. And we are getting into the computer age where everything is just so stupid all the time and so silly all the time. And we don't have enough intelligent people talking about serious subjects. Okay, and today is going to be a very serious subject. And yes, I'm going to use my platform to talk about serious subject. I'm not like the Sway House or the Hype House where they just run around and play all day. And that's for, and then I don't want to smash on their content, but that content is not for me. I used to watch their content, but their content is just, it's not for my age bracket. It's not for my gender. It's just not for somebody, a woman my age. So I'm gonna take a break from all that stupid shit like a Hype House, Sway House, where they're just running around screaming. There's no conversation. There's no dialogue. And I'm sure it's somebody's content, but it's not my content. And honestly, I do respect their content to a certain degree because it's probably the type of content. It's probably some content for some person that needs it. But so I guess let me just not bash their content. It's just not my. It's not designed for a woman my age with life experiences that I've been through. So it's not for my content of whatever. Okay. So let me tell you something. Okay, I'm 46 years old. I was born October 16th, 1974. And when I grew up, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and I also, when I was young, like really young, and I'm gonna say when you're in your 20s, you're a young adult. So basically, you're growing up. So when you're in your 20s, you're a young adult. I grew up as a young adult in Miami, Florida, Dade County, Florida. So I grew up as a young adult in Miami, Florida. So that's where I grew up into a grown ass lady. Because once you hit 30, that's when you grown. I feel like when you're in your 20s, you're a child. You're still a child. You're a young adult. You learn adulthood. When you turn 30, that's when you become a real adult. This is just my thoughts. When you become a real adult at 30, then that's when you finally become an adult or adult. Okay. But when you were in your 20s, you were just a kid growing up. Okay. So when I was a kid growing up, I was in Miami, Florida, Dade County, Florida. And to prove that to you, I grew up in North Miami Beach. I grew up in the Aventura area. I used to go to Aventura Mall, Annie Oakley's, Auntie Annie's pretzels was my favorite little treat. I used to, go to the Cheesecake Factory at the Aventura Mall. I used to be on South Beach, all 17 blocks. I used to go to the Mansion, Liquid, all these other little clubs from all over South Beach. I used to, my stomping grounds was Liberty City, Opelika, Biscayne Boulevard, downtown Miami, Cutler Ridge, Homestead. My homegirls used to be in Homestead, Cutler Ridge area. I used to listen to Power 96. I grew up on Power 96, the party bus and shit. What's up, Dade County? What's up, Dade County? That's where I used to grow up. I grew up down there. Okay, so in my early 20s, that's where I live. Okay, so what I want to talk about is the drugs. Okay, when I grew up in the in the drug world. Miami, Florida was the drug capital of the United States during when I was a young girl. Okay. So let me tell you what happened when I was growing up in the drug world. Okay, the main hub where the drugs were coming from was Colombia. Okay, Bogota, Colombia. So it was the Hispanics in South America that was making the drugs, and they would come in through Miami. Why? Because Miami is on the Atlantic Ocean. Miami is on the Atlantic Ocean. So they were coming in from Bogota, Colombia on ships. And they were coming in through Miami, Florida, secretly through drug smugglers that were smuggling them through Miami, Florida. So what was happening in Miami is that it was a lot of crack. It was a lot of crack. It was a lot of name brand drugs in Liberty City, Opelika, where it was crack houses, and what would be going on in the crack house They would be, making crack. Okay. And cocaine was for white people, crack was for black people, and then they had weed. Okay. Now, weed and crack and cocaine, um, weed is marijuana, also known as Mary Jane, also known as Kush, also known as tree, also known as brush, also known as Bob Marley. Also, but if you had some Bob Marley, that was the good shit from Jamaica. So Jamaica was the Bob Marleys, and they were sending in the drug. They were the main producers of the Bob Marley, which was name brand Bob Marley, which came from Jamaica. So if you had the good shit from the Bob Marleys, that was the Jamaicans. That was the drug. That were the drug kings. Okay, so they had the Bob Marley. They also had the Kush, and they also were the owner of what they called Tree. Okay, so the Bob Marley's though was the main producer of the marijuana. Okay, they also called it Bush. They also called it in no relation to George Bush, but what I'm trying to say is what was happening. Okay, so in these areas where the money was, it was a multi-million dollar industry. The Hispanics, the Bogota Colombians, where they had the multi-million dollar. They were living on the beach, multi-million dollar. Then you had the black drug boys, the Smurfs, the Pac-Man boys. They were like the Liberty City Opalaka boys. Okay, and these boys, they would be having all the expensive jewelry. All the boys were aced out in gold. They were drenched in gold from head to toe. They had gold all on their fronts. They had the grills. I mean, every boy was, he would have dreads. He would be, I mean, it was like I wasn't into black guys, but the black guys would be beautiful. They would be like Egyptians, baby. They ain't no kin to Egyptians, but they were trying to look it. They had gold from every tooth was aced in gold. They had gold drenched all. They would be aced out in gold. They would have motherfucking Rolex. They had, remember the Cub Rolex? Everybody wanted a Rolex watch, a 10,000, 20,000 glittery ass watch. They would be having jewelry on, like rings on. Every boy in Miami, I'm talking every drug boy, it was every black boy was grilled up, bling bling. They were grilled the fuck up. Remember that? When they had money, I'm talking drenched from head to toe in gold. I mean, it would be like sparkling. When they said bling bling, they wasn't playing. Bling bling is where it started from Miami, baby. And you knew where the drug boys was because Miami was hot like that. Multi-million dollar mansions everywhere. It was drug. That's when we had the drug world. We Miami back then, and I wasn't into drugs or nothing. I didn't touch no drugs. I didn't touch no drugs because I was scared because people was always getting killed and it was violence and it was okay. Our world of the drugs was glamorous, glittery, like the new Egypt. It was like beautiful gold everywhere, glamorous, fucking mansions. It was all based off of drugs. Billions and billions and billions of dollars made Miami what it was today. Now, what was happening with the drugs is that, and I didn't think about it till this day. And it's something just dawned on me. Okay. What was happening with these white people? Okay. Okay. So let me tell you about even when I went to Detroit, it was like, crack houses, but they were low balling. Detroit were raggedy than a motherfucker. But the drug boys, even up there, was the ones that always had the money. Okay, they had the cars, they had the jewelry, but it was still low balling, but they were the rich motherfuckers. Anybody that owned a crack house was a rich person in Detroit. Any crack dealer, anybody that owned a crack house. If you ain't from those zones where you know about the crack house, everybody knew where the crack house was. You knew a crack house right there. You knew a crack house right there. You knew, oh, those boys, they be from West Majig, those West Side, those East Side boys. Those are but I don't know East Side crack house. I knew West Side crack houses and shit, but whatever. For Detroit, they were broke down, but they were still the rich people, anybody that had the fancy cars. So let me tell you something that was happening in Miami so you could understand what was happening. Okay, so Miami was willing and dealing and billions of dollars of drugs. They had the camels, they had the mules that would it would be the Shanquiniques. You know who the mules were, and if you don't know what a mule or a camel is, a mule or a camel is somebody that goes from Miami to other parts of wherever, carrying drugs in their pussy or whatever, or because usually they stuff the drugs up in their vagina, and where they can't find them for search or seizures, or they that if they're carrying small weight, but they be making like repeat trips, like daily trips, stuffing a pound or something in their vagina. Okay, so that's why they would call them a camel or a mule. You know how a camel got humps? Well, they would stuff a ton of they would ace it up, wrap it up, and then they would put it in their vagina in case they got caught with it or they got their bag searched. They can't find it inside their vagina because they would stuff it all the way up there as a camel or a mule. Okay, so the mule girls, they were the ones, it was always females, and it would be the Shanquiniques, like a big Shanquinique bitch that got a big pussy that could handle a lot of weight. And what they would do, they would get on a plane and go to Detroit, they would go to New York, they would go to Baltimore, and they would do this like they would go up there that day, come back that night, then they would go up there repeatedly. And when somebody would be traveling back and forth like that daily, then they would be marked as a mule or a camel. Okay, because the mule would have to go to these cities and deliver these small pounds of weight. Okay, but they needed it, so the mule or the camel girl would have to do this daily. So that's how the women were the ones working inside the crack house. The women were the ones, and as the mule, the drug boys on the streets would be the ones on the streets, and it was like it was organized crime. Okay, and as a Miami girl myself, I knew about the organized crime structure, and I don't have time to tell you the whole life of organized crime when you live amongst it as the main industry of survival of the black race or the Bogota Colombians. And then when I got to Mexico City, I started learning about El Chapo. And El Chapo to this day is like the biggest drug lord of Mexico City. He might got a drug, I don't know, but everybody would know about El Chapo. And El Chapo in Mexico of the drug, he is like the king of the drugs from Mexico. And he funds Mexico like billions of dollars in drugs through California. Now I don't know too much about it. I just know somebody in my family had told me, El, somebody broke in and killed El Chapo. I said, what? Then I found out El Chapo was in prison. Then they said El Chapo was dead. Everybody got a different story of El Chapo from Mexico. Now he's the man that be funding Mexico. And if El Chapo dead or alive, I don't know. But everybody in Mexico, they know El Chapo. Okay, if they say El Chapo, that is the motherfucker that is funding Mexico. Okay. He been in power for the drug cartel for a long many years, El Chapo, but El Chapo is dead one day, then somebody else say El Chapo in prison. We don't know what I don't know. Okay. So I know about Mexico City, but he wasn't really from Mexico City. He was like from someplace, but everybody knew El Chapo. Okay. And it was stories about El Chapo all the time. Okay, about drug wars and shit in Mexico. It was like that. Okay. Okay. So what happened was, let me tell you about what happened when I was growing up in Miami though. Okay. So I was in the center of organized crime. Okay. So I didn't touch no drugs because I didn't want to be a part of no arrest. Okay. I stayed clear of that shit. I knew about it. I understood it. I knew how it worked, but I knew how to avoid it too. Okay, so back then I ain't touch no weed. I ain't touch fuck with the Bob Marleys. I didn't fuck with the Pac-Man boys. I see them. They knew my name. They knew where I lived. But everybody in Miami knew who I was. Because when you young and you back and forth all over Miami, see, Miami is a small, tight-knit city. So everybody knows you from wherever or whatever, and you all over Miami like I was. I was always running around Miami like, because it was party city in Miami. It was rich, it was bustling, it was booming. It was beautiful and fun and hot as a young girl growing up in the organized crime community of Miami. So what was happening in Miami though is like it would be certain drug crack houses that would get broke in. And what happened is when people are rich in Miami, they can't go to the bank because they would get a laundromat, and they would do money laundering through it through quarters. But when you get millions and millions of dollars and you don't have no way to prove how you got the money, then you could be arrested from, having illegal funds through the drugs. So Miami, so what would happen was the people would be keeping the money inside the house and hiding the money inside the house. Okay, built millions of dollars inside that house, millions of dollars inside that house, and it would be bars and everything all on a house that got millions of dollars hid in it. Okay, but what would happen was these corrupt police, they would do like a bust in. They would bust the door in, kick in the even if they had to go through a window, they would bust the door in. They would kill the people, everybody inside. Hey Jojo Bootsy, what's up? They would kill everybody inside the house. Then they would seize those millions of dollars. It would be pictures of drugs like all over, like it would be a picture in the newspaper how much they see. So it would be called a drug seizure. So they would take the money, they would take the drugs, they would take the cars, they would take the jewelry, and they would have pictures, and then they would say that they had a shootout, and the motherfuckers would be in the house dead. Okay. Or they would haul them off to prison and give them life in prison. Now, I started thinking about that. Okay, so you actually bust somebody's house open. You took their money, and think about it. If it's just some cops, and it's some cops that know, and and it could be it could be even the police force, and you got millions, you think that ain't somebody they gonna all go around and they gonna put that money in their shirt, and they gonna have bags that they can carry that money out? You cannot tell me that those corrupt cops just hand the money over to the government. So what the government gonna do with these people money? Oh, we had to seize the money. So what? But you didn't earn the money. Oh, but it was illegally gained, so we have to seize the money. Okay, so who does the money go to? Oh, the government. But guess what? Nobody questioned where their money went to, right? I'm just now questioning it as an adult, because I'm 46 years old. I was a kid back then, but as an adult, I'm thinking to myself, I'm laying in bed just thinking about life. And I thought to myself, where the fuck did those money go to? So when you took, because I know how much money would be in that house. So, because I'm thinking about corruption. Okay, and these were white cops. You can't tell me that you just gave the money to the government. You gonna see millions of dollars and you ain't gonna take some for yourself? Okay, but what did the city of Miami do with somebody else's funds that they did not earn? So you did not go out on the streets to earn that funds, but yet you took that for the city of Miami, for the government of Miami, for the government of Florida. You took millions of dollars and of somebody else's money, and then you killed them, blew them away. You literally blew them away and took their money. So if you think about it like this, if somebody is a corrupt motherfucker from a police force, and it could even be the chief of police that say, you know what, I know about where this person got this drug house, so why don't we just bust that door open and we all share some of it, and then we turn in some of it. I believe something like that most likely happened, because what they did, and they literally would go in and kill the people inside the house. They would go in there and murder a whole house of people. This is why I stayed away from drugs, because I knew about home invasions of the cops. So I knew you could die. Okay, I love life and I love living, and if it comes yeah, Jojo, if it comes between my life and death, I ain't gonna do something that's gonna cause me to die. And money, and it ain't no good if you can't spend it. If somebody gonna steal, if you gonna die for it, what good is it? Because you can't spend it from the grave. So if you gotta do life in prison for wearing some jewelry for 6 months, what good is it if the rest of your life is destroyed? So I figure I would never touch drugs. Okay, so because I knew, okay, I knew of several people that had died. Okay, I grew up literally like whole neighborhoods that I grew up at. The people that I grew up with are dead. Literally, almost all of them are dead. Literally, I watched these people get blown away. I watched these people get blown away. I watched those people get blown away by police. Guess who would break into the house and take the money? All those police. They would break into the house, and they would, when they would go to the house, they ain't knocking on the door. Hi, can we come in? They literally just bust the door in. They literally kick the door in. And then guess what? They come out, and then they start blowing everybody away. And then guess what? They start taking all their money. And then guess what? They start taking all their drugs. And then guess what? They start taking all their jewelry off of dead bodies. They start taking the jewelry. Oh, they stole it. Oh, they did it illegal. It makes me cry now thinking about the horror of the Miami lifestyle, when you could die, you could lose your motherfucking life, and a cop come in and take your motherfucking life, blow your motherfucking ass away, take your money, take your jewelry, and go out and spend it. Now, guess who these people were? It was white men and women that was doing it. Everybody on that police force was white. I would see nothing but white people doing this. I promise you that. It was white people doing this. And these people were black and Colombian that they were doing this to. I'm waking up to life. And that shit was not right. They were killing them, killing them, killing them, killing them down, gunning them down, and taking their millions and millions of dollars. And then what would they do? After they were dead, they would seize their property. They would sell it. Then they would literally, after somebody would die, guess what? Their property would go on the sale block. Guess who would sell it? City of Miami. Guess who would sell it? The police auctions. It was so popular. Every time you wanted a new car, guess where you would get it? They literally would publish it called a police auction. People would say, I'm gonna go to the auction and go get that car. When is the auction? Oh, we gonna auction it off. We gonna auction that car off. We gonna auction that Hummer off. We gonna auction that Mercedes off. We gonna auction that BMW off. And guess what? They would get the money from that. So let me get it. Let me put it to you like this, and then we gonna move on. Somebody got millions of dollars inside their motherfucking house. Somebody with a badge and a gun gonna bust your motherfucking door in with a badge and a gun, blow your motherfucking brains out, knock you down, take your jewelry off, go sell that shit, and then take your motherfucking money, then take your motherfucking drugs, then take your motherfucking car, and then take your motherfucking house. And guess where the fuck you at? Dead. They done took your life too. And then when they wasn't dead, they would say, they would have a judge sentence them for life. After they done took their life, took their money, and took everything from them. And it was white people that was doing it. Now, let me tell you something. That I'm learning something about some white folk. Because white folk getting too motherfucking evil lately than a motherfucker. I done seen too many people die in facilities. I done seen people get murdered. Lately, I watched somebody get murdered in a facility. And it was by a white man that had done this. With a suit and a white jacket on. And some glasses. And a medical degree that killed somebody recently. Okay. I watched somebody get murdered by a white man in a white suit and some glasses. And I know why he murdered the person. And I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened in the medical facility, in a facility where they're supposed to be saving people's lives. And then I just started thinking, how come these white people murdering people left and right? And they murdering people too much lately for money. Okay, so what happened was, okay, let's talk about, okay, so you done found out. Okay, yes, when you grew up in Miami, you watched people die. You watched people die all the fucking time, to the point where your whole fucking people that you grew up with ain't alive no motherfucking more. Okay, they've been dead for years. Okay. And guess what? Okay. So now what I found out. Okay. Think about this for a few seconds. Have you noticed all these miracle marijuana dispensaries that showed up all over Florida? Okay. It says that you can get America. I found out that when you find out, okay, somebody talking to me and I'm ignoring them because they saying some stupid shit. Okay, so what happened was, I'm crying because of what I just realized. Something that made me open my eyes I thought about go to a medical marijuana facility and get me some weed. And then I realized, I said, wait a minute. It's a motherfucker with a picture on with a white suit on. Look like that motherfucker that murdered somebody in the facility. The motherfucker had on some glasses and a white medical uniform on, talking about medical marijuana. And okay, so now let me understand this. Okay. When the black man was doing it, he had to die and you had to take his money. Now when the white man doing it and he got on a white coat and some glasses and he got a medical degree, now he get to live and he get to sell it on Florida Avenue in a nice facility with some neon lights and some medical staff. And now, okay, so let me look inside the facility. Okay, so now it got all these medical terms and names. Okay, so now instead of Pac-Man boys, we got something called Jade Medical. Okay. Okay, now it's instead of Pac-Man and Smurf and Bob Marley. Okay, now we got Jade Medical. Okay, so we went from I'm still tripping. Okay, so Bob Marley can't be up in here, but we can get Jade Medical with this motherfucker that reminds me of the murderer at the facility. Okay, so now, okay, are you serious? Are you going to try to tell me that I cannot purchase Bob Marley from the boys down in Miami? No, I will not. No, no. You better get Bob Marley from no. You got to have Bob Marley. J. Period. Okay, so let me tell you something. Okay, so now instead of me being able to go on in Opelika in Miami when I was a kid, instead of me, where's Pac-Man boys from Opelika? Dade County. He dead. He in the graveyard. Okay, so is he looking like this now? Okay, so the Bob Marley boys from Jamaica, are they looking like this now? Black and dead now? Okay, so are they dead and looking like this man that is this who I'm supposed to get the marijuana from Miami? From a dead man at the cemetery off of Jade Boulevard? Okay. Um okay, is this the dead man that's selling me the weed that you killed 20 years ago in Miami? Is he the one that's supplying this medical marijuana, or is he dead in the cemetery? Am I supposed to who started the drugs in Miami? Was it the dead motherfucker that you killed when you busted in his door, or is it you with the medical suit on? Okay, so where's Smurf Boys packages inside of this store? Oh, it is now saying Willow Tree. It's all these little pleasant tree names on it. So Willow Tree who is Willow Tree? Where is he from? Is he from Bogota, Colombia? Oh no, he is from a medical facility right here in Orange County. A respectable name, sir. What is this, sir? Oh, Palm Gardens, Florida. Palm Gardens, Florida. Where is that at? A golf cart? A golf course? Where is that at? Is that down near Cutler Ridge, motherfucking Homestead? Where is that at? Where is that at? Oh, it is now in a medical facility. A medical facility? Can we have your Medicare card? My Medicare card? What you need my Medicare card for? Oh, so we can bill Medicare. Why? Oh, because you are psychotic now, miss. And I'm going to need to get your Medicare so I can do insurance fraud. Oh, did I say insurance fraud? Oh, I didn't mean it to say insurance fraud. I meant to say you're medically unsound, miss. And because of that, I need your Medicare card so I can give you a medical card. And now you can give me hundreds of dollars through Medicare and you can get high legally, and no, we won't bust your door in because you're the one that's medically needy. Okay. And the greed of that white motherfucker just reeling off of his smiling face. the grin of that white motherfucker that's now. Okay, so when the black men were doing it, they had to die and they had to go to their graves, and you stole their motherfucking money and you stole their weed, and now you are selling it. Not, yes, they probably used those weed buds as clones. Because when I just researched how to grow weed, and when you get somebody's piece of weed, you actually do something called a clone with it. And if you want to resell it, you clone it. And then you do some other things with it. And that's how you got your weed, right? Because you stole it. And you also are probably still getting those seeds from Bogota, Colombia, Miami. And that's how you are now stealing somebody's weed and you are reselling it. See, something made me investigate how to do this shit. And I found out, because I'm going to grow my own weed. I'm not going to give you my money. And no, I'm not going to give you my Medicare card. I got my company, and I'm gonna get it from the Jamaica boys. I'm gonna get the clone of Bob Marley's weed. I know how to get the real Bob Marley from the real Jamaicans, and yes, I'm gonna give my money to the black man that deserved it. I'm gonna make sure somehow that it lion puss weed. That's right. It's gonna be grown right there in my backyard, and I'm gonna figure out how to cover it up, and I'm gonna get the real Bob Marley. I want the real Kush. I'm crying because you are stealing somebody's money from the grave. You are stealing from Bob Marley. You are stealing. Okay. Let me tell you something. You are stealing from the Bob Marley. You are stealing from the Kush boys. You are stealing from the Bogota Colombians. They dead. Now I don't know if you I don't know if you don't, somebody distracted me, but they talking stupid, so I ain't addressing no stupid shit right now. But you talking in the chat. Let me tell you something. When I'm on some serious level shit, don't bother me. Don't fuck with me with no dumb shit in the chat. Because you talking dumb shit in the chat. Talking about I don't know what I'm talking about. Bitch, let me ask you something. Was you from Miami? Where were you from? Where were you living in Miami during the drug days? Where were you at in the early 2000s, bitch? I grew up in Miami. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And don't fuck with me in the chat. And no, I ain't talking to nobody in the motherfucking chat right now. So stop fucking with me in the chat. Okay? So the real Bob Marley, that's not right. So that's not right. Okay. Okay, that's not right. When somebody gonna steal somebody's money like that from the fucking grave. So somebody from the grave, I'm alive and I can fix it, and I will know how to fix it, and I will know. And yes, I'm going to make sure that somebody that really knows, I will find out how to find out where to get that money back to the real owners somehow. I got my ways to figure it out. Okay? Okay. How I know? Because I know how to grow it now. I spent a few hours while the Comcast man was working. He got my Wi-Fi on, and I already know how to purchase my seeds. I already got my soul picked out. See, bitch, I work fast. I ain't doing dumb shit like the Sway House or the fucking Hype House fucking around all goddamn day. This is somebody fucking with me on the phone. I'm not meaning to diss them, but you know, time to get serious. People get murdered too much. Time to get serious. People get murdered all around me. I'm seeing too much death. And honestly, when you see that much death and you have to use this to know that you got power over death. Okay, when you know you got power over death, I use this for support because I know I got power over death. But I have to use this because I'm seeing too much death around me. I'm living in a lifestyle where I'm seeing dead people too much. Okay, so what is the problem? Okay, so the problem is, no, I'm not going to be off into no Black Lives Matter because that's a dumbass organization for some dumbass shit. Hey, Jessica. But it's some dumbass people for some dumb shit off of some stupid ass, corrupt ass shit. Okay, so what happened is, listen, if the black man had to die, if the black man died, okay, thank you, Jessica. If the black man died, and then the white man turns around and takes his seeds and takes his clones okay, of his weed. Okay, unfortunately, I have to give credit when credit was due. The black men and women, um, the black men and the black women of Miami and the Hispanics in Bogota, Colombia, is what got this medical marijuana popping. And it's not fair to steal somebody's money and blow them away and kill them. Cause let me tell you something. What I found out, if you don't speak up and you see somebody get killed, I ain't talking to no police because they gonna kill you too. I ain't talking to no police. I'm talking between me and you. Okay, what you gotta do, if you don't speak up to your friends or your family, the next motherfucker could be you. Okay. Okay, the next motherfucker could be you. Okay. So guess what? Guess what the next motherfucker could do? So when I was young, I was smart. I stayed away from drugs. But guess what? I'm a get a legal license to grow my own kush. I'm gonna get my own motherfucking tree. I'm gonna get my own motherfucking Bob Marley. I'm gonna get my own stuff. I'm gonna start. I got my area where I'm gonna work with. I got my grass. I got my seeds. I'm gonna find the real Bob Marley and I'm gonna clone that Bob Marley because I already know how to do that shit. I studied it for 2 hours. I studied seeds. I studied cloning. I studied all of that. I'm gonna get me a license to grow, and yes, I'm gonna grow my own, and I'm going to get it into the dispensaries because I'm gonna buy a little lot of land, and I'm gonna get my own shit in the dispensaries. But what I'm gonna do, okay, let me tell you something. When you see, okay, the white man now it's legal. Now he can sell it. Now he can make the money. So now guess what? The same thing the black man was trying to do, he couldn't do it. He couldn't he the black we had organized crime. And the black people, they knew how to organize and they knew how to sell and they knew how to make their own businesses. And that was black business. Cannabis was a black business. It started off as a black business and a Hispanic business. It started off from Bogota, Colombia. Without the Colombians, the black people, somebody said they want that lion puss kush. That's that. Thank you, bitch. That's the name, lion puss kush. And everybody knows who the original lion puss is. Lion puss is, somebody said they want that lion puss kush. I'm also going to sell it online some kind of way. And I'm going to get that lion puss kush. So I'm going to do it on lion puss skincare. You're going to watch me grow my own shit. And yes, I'm going to find the real Bob Marley. And yes, I'm going to end up trying to do some business with the Jamaicans that started the real Bob Marley. And that's what they grow in the dispensaries. The clone of the real Bob Marley that came from Jamaica. That's the real Bob Marley. I know what it looks like. And you stole that from Jamaica and now you selling it. I know where that came from. Okay? And now you wearing your little white coat and you got your glasses and you saying that you got a medical degree and you need to sell it. And guess what? The millions of dollars, instead of them hiding it in a house, is going into their bank account where they're sitting up in a multi-million dollar house somewhere where they stole it from, and now they get to live big off of somebody else's growth and creation. Now you white people, y'all got to stop fucking up. White people starting to go get really bad. White people starting to get really bad. Let me tell you something. The medical white people, if you see a white man or a white woman in a suit and coat from a medical facility, you better run like a motherfucker. You better run from that motherfucker. Because that motherfucker is looking to kill your ass. And I'm going to tell you how. I know how they be killing people. And let me tell you something. If you think about it, all this medical fraud, I wouldn't even be surprised if that coronavirus was not just made up to kill some people. So Moderna could make vaccinations, Johnson and Johnson and Pfizer and everybody else. It is all probably just a big ass game, making money off of people's sickness and death. I'm not putting nothing. Trust me, I got some. I'll talk about the coronavirus, how they could have made that up in a laboratory so that they could do some vaccinations and do a global multi-billion-dollar sting bust major. We'll do some dollars and cents. We'll do some calculations. We'll do some stuff like that. Let me tell you something. Let me make it clear. Okay, put it like this. Okay, if a black person and okay, if a black person is actually the producer and creator of something, and then a white person steps up and kills them and takes their money and their jewelry and their cars and their house, and then they take their plants with the seeds and then they actually reproduce them themselves so that they can sell through their own dispensaries, and now they are actually selling the clones of the Bob Marleys. That's what the Bob Marleys were selling. And then how did they get those seeds? How did they get them? They had to get them. So they had to get the seeds from Jamaica. How did they get the seeds though? They got them from Jamaica. They got them from the Bob Marleys. Okay, America ain't never produced the cannabis seeds. The cannabis seeds came from Jamaica originally. They also had some cannabis seeds that came from Bogota, Colombia, but those were the inferior seeds. The main stuff that was coming from Bogota, Colombia was cocaine and crack. And cocaine and crack is the same thing. Crack is like the dirty part of the cocaine. The cocaine is the clean part. So when somebody snort cocaine, that's clean. Okay, when somebody smoke crack, that's dirty. That's like the byproduct of what was taken off to clean the cocaine. Okay, once you got clean cocaine, that's what you sell to the white folk, and they sniff it and snort it. When you got the residue, you burn it and you smoke it. Okay, that's what you do with the crack. Okay, the crack is the buzz of the poor broke down person that just want to get high all day and just get crack. Okay, crack ain't even good no more because crack ended up killing people because they just started getting too dirty. And anyway, crack kills, so people ain't crackheads. Ain't nobody fucking with crack nowadays. They just fucking weed and they fucking with cocaine. So what happened was, okay, so the white man, okay, the black man dead and gone, money gone, okay, dead, okay. Now the white man, he off into the dispensaries with the Bob Marley, the Pac-Man boys, and the Smurf product. Okay, so now he got these fancy names on it, elegant place, and now he living high on the hog. But let me tell you something about Satan. Oh, I don't have my pentagram on. I where's my pentagram? Okay, I'm not a religious person. I am a atheist. I don't believe in God and I don't believe in Satan. But I do believe in hell. Okay, but it ain't no burning hell. I don't believe in somebody being burned forever, cuz you can't burn air forever, cuz once you die, you go into dirt and then you become air and you become a new human. I believe in reincarnation, and you can't burn somebody forever. It's not possible. You can't burn nothing forever because ain't nobody gonna burn forever. So it ain't no such thing as no hell. But I do believe in a personal life hell. And I believe that when people do kill somebody, don't nobody on this motherfucking planet get away with murder. Hey, don't nobody get away with murder. Even if you think you getting away with murder, and if you lock somebody up so you can steal their money and you destroy their life, that's just as much as murder. And you can't get away with that because let me tell you something. There is something called a living hell. I believe in living hells, but I don't believe, because look, we got a secret world government called the New World Order. And they do keep track of people doing shit that they don't, that because these imagine you law enforcement and you feel like ain't nobody above you because you're at the top. You're law enforcement. So who's above you? The FBI maybe, okay, the CIA maybe, okay. But the FBI can't come in and arrest you because you do have somebody over you. Local police, the people over them is FBI. Okay, the people over FBI is CIA. Okay, but the people over that is another hidden government called the New World Order. And the New World Order keeps track of invisible shit that people think that they get away with. So if somebody then killed somebody and stole their money and they think they got away with murder, have you ever heard that term? Somebody got away with murder? Well, you can't get away with murder. It's not possible. So if you think that you got away with murder, you're going to be punished by Satan. And guess what? I know how Satan punishes you. They sentence you to a living hell. Okay, so when you get reborn, you go to a living hell. And where is your living hell? Is somewhere in the armpit of Africa. And I know where to find it, baby. And what you do, instead of you being born under somebody's pussy, you actually come crawling out of the fucking dirt as a bug. And you're a human bug, but you got an ugly ass face. And if you think this place don't exist, I could find it for you on a map, and I could tell you the process of how the New World Order will sentence these motherfuckers to a living hell. Okay, so the motherfucker crawls out the dirt as a young child. It literally just crawls out the motherfucking dirt. At least that's what it looks like. Okay, I found some motherfucking dirt bug motherfucking things that look like maybe they fell out of somebody's pussy, but the motherfuckers look like they crawled out of a hole in the dirt. The motherfuckers are walking around eating dirt and worms. The motherfuckers are dirty than a motherfucker. They got limited water. They have to drink muddy water. They live a life of a living hell. And if you white and you think you can always be born white, you can lose white status by doing something dirty and black. So when something is black, either you got black because you're going through a process of evolution and you will eventually go white. um um Okay, so if you could either be black sentenced to a living hell of black where you actually done been devalued as a white person, you don't qualify to be reborn as a white person. You could be living out a life mission of hardship through the hidden government. Okay, so what happens is that when somebody is living a life of a living hell, I'll go through the whole procedure. But what I do when somebody done fuck with me, or I know somebody, I actually do a hellfire satanic worshiping. I put my pentagram on the paper. I got this black pentagram because I know something. Okay, so anyway, I'll show you how I sense I'm gonna send you to hell. And I know when, okay, it's a certain, I'll do a hellfire satanic ritual one day. Okay, so at that point I start calling on Satan to burn you in hell. Burn you to hell, send you to hell. And I always say in my satanic spell, when you get to hell, you're going to see a magazine, and inside that magazine, you're going to see a big picture of me. So you're going to know who sent you to hell, baby, because you're going to go to hell and you're going to burn. Because you can't just kill people like that. You just killing and killing and killing. And you can't keep on killing people like that. You can't keep killing people and getting away with it. Okay? Okay, you can't just kill people like that. So, and you think that you're going to get away with murder? You ain't. You think that you going to sit up and enjoy somebody's money that you done stole? And you living off of a dead black man? And you a white man living off of a dead black man? Nah, you done, white man, you done hit rock bottom. You done hit, and it ain't every white person. You got good white people and you got bad white people. You got good black people and you got bad black people. You got all types of people. But what I'm saying is that there's white collar crime, and when they call it white collar crime, is medical, okay, or something else, okay, okay, um. Okay, so anyway, I'm reading some stuff, but it's some bullshit, so I ain't gonna mention it. Okay, so what I'm saying is, we'll do it. Well, that will be my satanic ritual. I'll do some burn in hell, baby, baby, burn satanic rituals to the motherfucking murderers. Motherfucking murderer, you ain't gonna get away with murder. Don't ever think you can kill somebody and get away with it. Don't ever think you can destroy somebody's life and get away with it, because you can't. You will never get away with murder. Nobody can, and nobody ever will. It will never happen. A day of okay, okay. Eh, Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody gonna get away with murder. You can't steal nobody's money and get away with it. Burn, baby, burn. Okay, so anyway, guys, I was gonna go to Lion Puss. I want to thank the people that did go to Lion Puss yesterday. Actually, I better I better commit to what I said. I better commit to what I said because I actually got 4 new subscribers. I said to, and that might not seem like much, but I need 1,000 subscribers over there on Lion Puss. So I actually started off with 544, and then last night 4 people did what I asked them to do. And if that's good, that's good. 4 people a night, that's good. Okay, that's real good because I'm at 544. So I'm at 544, and then 4 people signed up last night. So I'm at 548. Okay, so I'm at I need 1,000. So I need 452 subscribers in order to do lives on Lion Puss. So the rest of y'all go subscribe to Lion Puss. I'm about to head to Lion Puss right now. I want to say thank you to the ones that did, answer my response. They did go and subscribe to Lion Puss. I'ma still need y'all to go back. I'ma need the rest of y'all to go to Lion Puss Skincare. Please hit that subscribe button. I need 1,000 subscribers. I need 452 subscribers. So go hit that subscribe button. Meet me over on Lion Puss Skincare. I'll be there on Lion Puss Skincare in about 30 minutes. So live fiercely, love viciously, and remember, atheism is unstoppable. Bye, guys.